Alright, this video is on the last of the easy stuff. Yeah, some of you may find the future stuff easy, but for now we'll call it the easy stuff. And it's corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Cpctc for short. Alright, so congruent triangles, we talked about this before. Congruent basically means the same. So congruent triangles are triangles with the same shape and size. And this means that all corresponding parts, the angles and sides, are congruent. So everything's the same. Now when triangles are congruent, we can write a congruency statement. Now we've written congruency statements in the last unit. And a valid congruency statement matches all the corresponding angles and sides. Okay, so ABC, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Now, if you notice, A and D, they both match. This one arc. B has 2 arcs. E has 2 arcs. F has 3 arcs. C has 3 arcs. AB has 1 dash. DE has 1 dash. BC has 2. EF has 2. And then if we loop back from C to A, that has 3. F to D has 3. So it has to match up like that. You can't just put them in any order. It has to be a perfect match. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And then, as I said, Cpctc just means corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. And so if we know 2 triangles are congruent, then we know that every pair of corresponding parts is also congruent. Okay? So if we know they're congruent, every matching part is also congruent. So if we take a look at some example stuff, it says list all angles and sides given the congruency statements. Sorry, list all the congruent angles and sides. Well, triangle JKL is congruent to triangle PQR. For the angles, J and P are going to be congruent because they're in the same position. They're both first. So angle J is congruent to angle P. K is second, Q is second. So angle K is congruent to angle Q. L is third, R is third. So angle L is congruent to angle R. Now for sides, JK, PQ. And that's it, JK, PQ. Next we've got KL, QR. And then L to J, and so R to P. And then write another valid congruency statement. That's simple. Just switch the letters. Move, so K, L, J. Just move them up 1. And so since I moved them up 1 here, this would be Q. So triangle Q, R, P. And we can move them up again if we wanted. We could do L, J, K, R, P, Q. Excuse me, same idea here. W and E. Angle X and angle F. Angle Y and angle G. Because that's what they match with. W to E, there, and there. And then the sides. WX, the first 2 letters, So the first two letters of the other triangle, EF. Next two letters are XY, so the next two letters of the other side, FG. And then loop it around, Y to W, so G to E. And then again, triangle X, Y, W, triangle F, G, E. Now, complete the following congruency statements. Excuse me, sorry. KPM, AYC. Well, we don't even necessarily need to look at the triangles. It wants to know KM. KM, well, that's M to K, so C to A. But because they say KM, we have to say AC. CY, well, that's YC, so PM. But because they say CY, we say MP. PK, that's KP, so AY. But because they say PK, we say YA. Angle Y. Y's in the middle, P's in the middle. Angle K. K's first, A's first. Angle ACY. Well, that's angle C. So it's angle M. But because they use three letters, we have to use three letters. They went A, C, Y. So we have to go, since A was first, then it went to the end and back to Y, we have to go K, M, P. Now, MPK is last to first, so CYA. Triangle. Triangle YAC, middle, first, last, so PKM. Okay, it's all about matching up the sides. Now, on this side, it says find the value of each missing measure. Well, it wants BN. Well, BN is right here. BN matches WS. WS is 9, so that means that's 9. TW. TW is the same as FN. FN is 14, so TW is 14. BF, well, BF is the same as ST. ST is 17, so BF is 17. D, it wants the measure of angle W. W is going to be the same as angle N. Angle N is 82, so W is 82. Angle B is the same as angle S. Angle S is 67, so B is 67. And angle F is the same as angle T. Well, we're not told angle T, so we have to use what we learned in a previous lesson. We know we have an angle of 67 and an angle of 82. Well, 180 minus 67 minus 82. Well, that's 98 minus 67 is 31. And so 31 degrees. Because if this is 67 and 82 was angle W, to find this, because the whole thing adds up to 180, we subtract from 180. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Okay. For number 5, it's the same idea. We, no pun intended, we just match up and figure out each one. Now I'm going to skip down to number 6 because there's some equations involved. Okay, find the values of x, y, and z. Well, we have uv here. uv is the same as ts. So this and this are the same. So we know 12x minus 7 equals 53. Because that side and that side are the same. We know that here RS, so SR, is going to match VW. VW and this are the same. So we know 5y minus 33 is going to equal 57. And then we know RT is going to match WU. So that's 3z plus 14 equals 50. So I'm going to pause and work out the equation to save time. Okay, and so when it's worked out, you should get x equals 5, y equals 18, and z equals 12. Okay, now 7 is the same thing, except this time it's with angles. And so you've got F equals S, you've got N equals H, so you set this equal to 115, you've got C equals P, and so to find, X, H equals, which one, N, to find Y, F equals S, you'll have to actually find these two and subtract from 180 to find S in order to find, to set Y equal to that angle. Okay. Now here, they don't actually give you the diagram, but they tell you DE equals this, EF equals this, DF equals this, JL equals NK, JK equals, find the values of X and Y. So they tell you everything you need to know. Okay, so you can sketch your diagram. You got, and it doesn't have to be a good sketch. So D, E, F, J, K, L. DE is 18. EF is 23. DF is 9x minus 23. JL is 7x minus 11. And JK is 3y minus 21. Find the values. Okay, so you set what you need equal to each other and solve. Okay, so we know this is equal to this, we know this is equal to this, and we solve. This 23 was extra information that we didn't need. Okay, so we set it equal, solve. That's all we're doing. Okay, set what we know equal to each other and solve. As always, if you have questions, let me know. And I hope you have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.